Monaco is not merely a country, it is a fantasy made real. Glittering sliver of coastline carved into the cliffs of the French Riviera, where the world's wealthiest individuals gather as if drawn by gravity, forming a microscopic nation that somehow feels larger than life, because everything in Monaco, from its polished marble streets to its super yacht-packed harbors to the soft glow of its casino chandeliers, radiates an aura of extravagance so intense that it becomes almost otherworldly. And Monaco's charm lies not only in its wealth, but in the way it stands as a symbol of impossible luxury, a place where Lamborghinis purr through narrow streets, penthouses sell for tens of millions, helicopters buzz overhead like taxis, and elegance is not a privilege, but a cultural expectation. And yet, behind this dazzling display of wealth, lies a fascinating paradox. Monaco is both one of the smallest countries on Earth and one of the most powerful magnets for millionaires and billionaires, a place that has mastered the art of exclusivity while remaining impeccably safe, unbelievably clean, and meticulously curated to function like a real-world utopia. And as you look closer, you begin to realize that Monaco is not just a playground for the rich. It is an economic marvel, a historical curiosity, a cultural masterpiece, and a societal experiment that answers the question: what happens when a country is designed almost entirely around luxury, wealth preservation, and the highest living standards imaginable? To understand Monaco is to understand the extraordinary, because this tiny principality, barely 2 square kilometers in size, defies every conventional idea of what a country should be, proving that scale does not determine significance, and that influence is not measured in landmass, but in prestige, economic power, and global fascination. And when you step into Monaco, you enter a realm where perfection is curated, cleanliness is absolute, architecture is polished like fine jewelry, and the sea glistens against a backdrop of villas carved into cliff sides, giving the country an atmosphere so cinematic it feels almost crafted by design rather than history. And yet Monaco is more than its glamorous surface. It is a sovereign nation shaped by centuries of negotiation, resilience, strategic diplomacy, and royal leadership under the Grimaldi dynasty, whose control of the land dates back over 700 years, weaving a legacy that blends tradition with modern sophistication. And today, Monaco stands as one of the wealthiest and safest environments on Earth, home to a population where nearly 1 in 3 residents is a millionaire, creating a society that thrives on ultra-luxury real estate, elite finance, tourism, environmental innovation, cultural events, and the preservation of a lifestyle unmatched anywhere else. And this introduction opens the door to a country whose story is far richer than its reputation, revealing how Monaco became a global symbol of aspiration, exclusivity, economic genius, and the seductive promise of a life lived beyond ordinary boundaries. To understand how Monaco became the glamorous jewel it is today, you must first understand its history, which reads like a saga of resilience, political mastery, and royal endurance, beginning with the House of Grimaldi, a family whose rule over Monaco stretches back to the 13th century, forming a dynasty so deeply woven into the country's identity that Monaco itself seems inseparable from the Grimaldi name. And the early centuries of Monaco were not defined by luxury, but by survival, diplomacy, and strategic alliances with much larger powers such as France and Spain. Because for a nation so small, independence was never guaranteed. It had to be negotiated, protected, defended, and reinforced through treaties, marriages, and military decisions that allowed Monaco to remain sovereign while the rest of Europe shifted endlessly through wars, revolutions, and empire building. And as time passed, Monaco transformed from a modest fortress town into a sophisticated European enclave. But the true turning point came in the 19th century when economic challenges pushed Monaco to reinvent itself, leading Prince Charles III to approve the creation of a luxurious district known as Monte Carlo, anchored by a casino and opera house that would forever change the country's destiny. And from there, Monaco began to attract Europe's aristocrats, artists, and elite travelers, building the foundation for its modern identity as a luxurious refuge for the wealthy, a place where glamour became a national industry and where the Grimaldi family guided the country with a combination of charisma, vision, and strategic brilliance. Monaco's economy is unlike any other in the world, operating not as a traditional nation-state with vast industries or natural resources, but as a hyper-efficient, wealth-focused ecosystem, carefully engineered to attract capital, high-net-worth individuals, and luxury-driven global commerce, creating a system where prosperity feeds prosperity and exclusivity fuels economic power. And one of Monaco's most famous economic traits is its tax structure, specifically the absence of personal income tax for residents, which has helped transform the principality into a magnet for millionaires and billionaires seeking financial stability, privacy, and a business-friendly environment that rewards investment and entrepreneurship. And beyond its tax appeal, Monaco's economy thrives on real estate, some of the most expensive property on earth, where apartments sell for tens of millions, and demand is so high that the principality has engaged in ambitious land expansion projects, reclaiming territory from the sea to build new districts like Portier Cove, transforming the coastline into an architectural masterpiece. And tourism fuels another major pillar of the economy, with luxury hotels, Michelin-starred restaurants, superyacht marinas, and global events such as the Monaco Grand Prix and the Monte Carlo Rally drawing international attention and revenue. And Monaco's financial sector, comprising private banks, wealth management firms, and financial services, operates with world-class regulation and discretion, supporting a global clientele while reinforcing the principality's reputation as a stable, secure, and elite financial hub that continues to thrive even in times of global uncertainty. In Monaco, the millionaire lifestyle is not an exception. It is the expectation, because with nearly a third of its residents classified as millionaires and many more belonging to the global elite, the principality operates on a standard of living so elevated that what counts as luxury elsewhere becomes simply everyday life within its borders. And the evidence of this lifestyle is everywhere you look. From supercars lined up outside the Casino de Monte Carlo like a showroom of living art, to the endless procession of yachts that fill Port Hercules, to penthouses with rooftop pools overlooking the Mediterranean, to boutiques carrying the rarest collections of haute couture and jewelry, all catering to a clientele for whom exclusivity is a normal part of existence. And what makes Monaco's millionaire culture especially fascinating is the way it blends extravagance with elegance. Wealth here is not flaunted recklessly, but expressed through refinement, architecture, fine dining, art galleries, ballet performances, charity galas, and a social environment where high society is both glamorous and surprisingly structured. And residents of Monaco enjoy unmatched safety, world-class healthcare, pristine streets maintained with surgical precision, and a sense of privacy that protects their identities and wealth, creating an environment where the ultra-rich can live freely, securely, and stylishly without the chaos or insecurity that often accompanies major urban centers. And in this extraordinary world, luxury becomes not merely a possession, but a lifestyle philosophy, woven into the rhythms of daily life and shaping Monaco into a living showcase of what the pinnacle of human comfort and refinement can look like. The living standards in Monaco are so exceptionally high that they defy comparison with almost any other place on earth, creating an environment where comfort, safety, and refined efficiency come together to produce an everyday experience that feels almost unreal. Because in Monaco, the streets are polished, crime is virtually non-existent, infrastructure is immaculate, and the entire country functions with the precision of a luxury watch. And the sense of security is one of Monaco's most prized qualities, with one of the highest police-to-resident ratios in the world and an incredibly sophisticated surveillance system that ensures not only the safety of citizens but their peace of mind, making it a haven for high-net-worth individuals who require discretion and protection. And healthcare in Monaco rivals that of Switzerland and Singapore, offering elite medical facilities, private clinics, and preventive care programs that cater to the wealthy but are accessible to all residents, ensuring that the population enjoys one of the world's highest life expectancies. And the public spaces, from the meticulously groomed parks to the sculpture-filled promenades to the botanical gardens bursting with exotic plants, are designed not merely for aesthetics, but to elevate the overall lifestyle, allowing residents to enjoy a blend of natural beauty and curated luxury that feels both soothing and inspiring. And Monaco's schools, cultural institutions, transportation systems, and environmental policies all reflect the same pursuit of perfection, creating a society where living standards are not just high, they are engineered to be among the best the world has ever created. Monaco's real estate market is a world of its own, a realm where prices reach astronomical heights and demand remains unshakably strong, creating an environment where even the smallest apartment can cost several million euros, and penthouses can sell for sums that rival private islands, making Monaco home to the most expensive square meters on the planet. And the reason behind these extraordinary prices is not just the luxury of the properties, but the inherent scarcity of land. Monaco is smaller than New York's Central Park, and with such a tiny territory, every inch becomes valuable, driving developers to build upward or outward through land reclamation projects that transform the coastline into stunning architectural masterpieces. And the buildings themselves are chosen and crafted with obsessive attention to detail, featuring marble floors, panoramic sea views, smart home technology, concierge services, private pools, underground garages that house supercars, and security systems that rival high-level government facilities. And neighborhoods like Monte Carlo, Fontvieille, Larvotto, and the increasingly iconic Porcier Cove each offer unique atmospheres and price ranges, with some blocks becoming synonymous with wealth and exclusivity, attracting celebrities, royalty, CEOs, and global investors who view Monaco property as both a luxurious home and a bulletproof financial asset. And what makes this real estate market especially fascinating is that its value rarely declines. Monaco remains a safe investment haven even during global crises, making property ownership not only an indulgence, but a strategic decision that blends prestige, financial stability, and the allure of belonging to one of the most exclusive societies in the world. Monte Carlo is not just a district within Monaco, it is an icon recognized across the world, a name that instantly conjures images of glittering casinos, luxury hotels, elegant boulevards, and a nightlife that blends sophistication with spectacle, forming the epicenter of Monaco's cultural and economic identity. And at the heart of Monte Carlo stands the legendary Casino de Monte Carlo, a masterpiece of Belle Epoque architecture where crystal chandeliers, gold leaf ceilings, velvet interiors, and centuries of history come together in a space that feels like the palace of a dream, hosting not only gambling but opera, fine dining, and high society events that attract celebrities, royalty, and international elites. And surrounding the casino is the Place du Casino, a plaza so meticulously curated that it resembles a movie set, with exotic gardens, luxury brands, supercars, and terraces that offer breathtaking views of the Riviera, creating a social environment where people come not only to spend money, but to be seen, to connect, and to experience the glamorous pulse of Monaco. And the district's luxury hotels, such as Hotel de Paris and Hotel Hermitage, provide worlds of indulgence, offering private wine cellars, Michelin-starred restaurants, world-class spas, rooftop pools, and suites designed like palaces overlooking the Mediterranean, making every stay an encounter with perfection. And Monte Carlo's atmosphere is further amplified by cultural events like the Monte Carlo Ballet, the Philharmonic Orchestra, international art exhibitions, and the Monaco Grand Prix, turning this small district into one of the most influential cultural capitals of Europe, where elegance is not just expected, it is required. Monaco is a place where wealth expresses itself through symbols that are as extravagant as they are meticulously crafted, with superyachts, exotic cars, and luxury collectibles, forming a kind of visual language that defines the lifestyle of its elite residents, creating an environment where the harbor looks like a floating gallery of billion-dollar engineering marvels, and the streets resemble a luxury showroom filled with roaring engines and polished chrome. And Port Hercules, Monaco's iconic marina, is home to some of the world's largest and most expensive superyachts, vessels equipped with helipads, theaters, spas, private submarines, infinity pools, and crews that operate them, like floating palaces, making the marina not only a place to dock, but a stage where the wealthiest individuals subtly showcase their taste and status. And the streets of Monaco, particularly around Monte Carlo, are filled with rare cars, Bugattis, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Rolls-Royces, McLarens, Bentleys, and special editions so rare that only a handful exist in the world, driven casually by residents who treat these machines not as unattainable luxuries, but as everyday transportation. And these symbols of wealth form a part of Monaco's identity, not out of arrogance, but as a natural extension of the environment, where the ultra-rich coexist in a society built to support privacy, security, and refined indulgence, making luxury feel as commonplace as sunlight. And in this world of opulence, the lines between necessity and extravagance blur, creating a lifestyle that exists nowhere else. A lifestyle where beauty, craftsmanship, and exclusivity merge into a visible culture of prosperity. Despite its reputation for wealth, Monaco is not a shallow display of extravagance. It is a country with a distinct cultural identity rooted in elegance, dignity, and a quiet sophistication shaped by centuries of royal influence and civic pride, creating a society where culture is felt in the ballet, the opera, the architecture, the festivals, the sculptures, and the everyday behavior of its residents, who value tradition as much as luxury, and the presence of the Grimaldi family is at the center of this cultural identity, with the prince and the royal household playing an active role in promoting the arts, conservation, sports, and international diplomacy, giving Monaco a sense of continuity and heritage that balances the modern influx of global wealth. And events like the Monte Carlo Ballet, the Monte Carlo Philharmonic Orchestra, the Monaco Yacht Show, the Spring Arts Festival, and the Rose Ball reflect not only luxury but artistic refinement, showcasing a country committed to cultural excellence. And beyond high culture, Monaco fosters a unique social behavior. Residents dress elegantly, treat public spaces with respect, maintain privacy, and live by an unspoken code of courtesy and sophistication that ensures harmony in a society filled with powerful individuals. And this cultural identity, blending timeless European refinement with Mediterranean charm, creates an environment that is not merely wealthy but profoundly graceful, turning Monaco into a place where high culture and high luxury merge into a lifestyle unlike anywhere else in the world.